From sunny and 70 to the slippery snowbanks, I'm going to be talking about the move from California to Michigan, and it's coming up right now. You are now watching Live Great TV, and I'm your official host to Living Great in Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area. My name is Vaughn Greyhouse, and in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of moving from California to Michigan. And stay tuned to the end of the video because I really want to get to the most important part of making that transition over from California to Michigan. Stay tuned. The pro number one is going to be the lower cost of living. You're going to get that bang for your buck. Now, the great thing about the Grand Rapids area is that you have so many different facets so close. The overall living expenses aren't that high. So you're not traveling or commuting an hour or 2 hours like you are in California to get from one side to the other because there's a lot less traffic. There's things in the area that are very attractive in regards to the bus route. We have the Link system, we have the Rapid, and they actually take you all around the Grand Rapids area in general. So that lower cost of living is going to be a very good selling point for you moving from California over to Michigan. Now, I've put together a PDF guide to show you exactly what those specifics are. So if you're interested in moving to the area or just coming to visit, you're gonna get a good dose of what that transition is like coming to the West Michigan area. All right, we're talking about con number one, and it's got to be the economy and the economic opportunities. In Los Angeles or in California, it's a huge state, and it has a lot more opportunity that come along with that size of the state. We don't have as many industrial places, or, it's not a very huge global leader in a lot of different industries. Moving to Michigan is going to be a smaller move. It's not going to be as robust. It's not going to be as bountiful as the opportunities that you're going to have in California. It just is what it is. As one of the better states in the United States, you have a lot of competition out there. It's a more go-getter type of environment, whereas here you do have that, but it isn't as high. The stakes aren't as high. The risk reward isn't as high, and it pays to know people in this area. And as you work your way up, you do get into some better positions. But in general, as far as the economy goes, California is going to be I gotta say what it is. It's just a better place to do that type of thing. A lot of people who do move to the Michigan area have jobs lined up or certain industries that they do really well in California. So bringing your resume over here may end up working for you as a better selling point. Now here's pro number two. In Michigan, we have a lot of natural beauty. Almost anywhere you go year round, you're going to actually be in a good position as far as seeing some of the nature scenes, some of the parks, rivers. Whether you're biking or boating, you're on the water, we got Lake Michigan right there. So it's a really great opportunity for people who want to be away from the city, hustle and bustle, to go to somewhere that's more naturey, where you can see a lot of God's green earth and all that type of thing. Because when you come here, you just taking that good fresh nature, and it really is a great selling point. Con number two is going to be the very extreme weather patterns. Now, California weather, let's be real, you got the 60s, 70s all year round. It's great weather. It doesn't rain a ton from what I know. In Michigan, you never know what you're going to get. It's kind of like the Forrest Gump, life's like a box of chocolate. Well, the weather's like a box of chocolate because you never know what it's going to be. From gloomy skies till today, it's actually really sunny. And the weather here, as far as the snowfall, we might get dumped on. We might get a foot of snow overnight, school shut down and things that happen like that. But in some of the more populated areas, they're really good about cleaning that snow out, making sure those roads are clear. And if they can't get to it right away, they'll let you know ahead of time, so that way you can plan accordingly. And a lot of the employers especially are very lenient, knowing how the weather patterns are, because it's just a lifestyle that's here. But if there's plans that you have to make in Michigan, you better have a plan B or a backup plan. Even people who have weddings and things like that, they have an indoor-outdoor idea. So it's always something that's interesting and something you really want to look out for if you're moving from California to Michigan. Here is pro number three, is that we have the 4 seasons. That's something that's really big and something that a lot of Michigan people, Michiganders or Michiganians, take a lot of pride in, is those 4 seasons, because we have winter where it's snowy and it's slushy and you got to figure out how to get around. And then you have fall, which is very beautiful. You have the pumpkin patches. People are going apple picking and cherry picking and doing all these sorts of stuff. And then in the spring, we got the rain. We get to see the flowers bloom. And then in the summertime, We go pretty hard in the summertime because it doesn't usually last that long. Usually lasts about 3 months. So Michigan people, we do summer right. And Michigan summers, I always tell people that are visiting, no one does summer like Michigan people do because we don't get it that long. We do it the best we can. Some friends that moved from California over to Michigan, I let them know ahead of time. I said, hey, if you have friends that are in Michigan, you make friends here and you don't get to see them a ton over the summer, is because everybody has plans every weekend. So everybody wants to get every inch of their summer done. So it's something that you really have to kind of plan for your summers. And there's so many memories. I remember just going through my phone and seeing like all the things that we did throughout the summer. A lot of cool events go on in Michigan throughout the summer. That's a really big selling point from moving from California to Michigan. All right, con number 3 are going to be the cultural adjustments or the cultural differences from Michigan to California. We don't have, I wouldn't say it's that big of a melting pot compared to a California where people are all over the world have their eyes on California, California Dreaming, California Girls, the Beach Boys, you know, hearing all these songs and all these great things about California. Michigan doesn't have as prominent of a name as of lately when it comes to Michigan. What was it? Michigan U of M, you know, taking the national title. Detroit Lions getting all the way towards the playoffs, almost making the Super Bowl. So, you know, Michigan is up and coming, but in the bigger spectrum, in the bigger picture, the cultural difference there, you know, being able to surf, the weather. So if you're really paying attention, you know, to what you like the most, you know, it might not be for everybody. It might not be for you. But if you understand, you know, some of the things that are really important to you as far as your lifestyle, then this is really going to be something to pay attention to. Sometimes it's always a really cool thing to discover something else. It's a big world, so it's a really cool thing that you might want to experience. Pro number 4 is going to be the sense of community in Michigan that we have. Now, I always tell a lot of people when they're thinking of Michigan, the sense of community here is unlike anywhere that I've ever been, and I've traveled to a lot of different places throughout the United States. The sense of community here is just like a quaint type of small town, very, you know, get to know your neighbor. People here are very friendly, sometimes a little nosy, but at the same time, people here mean well. You know, it's easy to make friends. The way that the people support each other as far as, you know, new businesses and new opportunities, they're very supportive here. The word of mouth is a really big deal here. So, you know, keeping a good reputation, that's a really big deal when you're coming to the Michigan area. Con number 4 is going to be the distance from family and friends. If you're moving from California to Michigan, you're going to be a ways away from the people that are significant to you. It's really important because family is important to a lot of people. So if you're taking that into account, and it's a highlight to say, hey, you know what? We have somewhere cool to go. We have somewhere cold to go in the wintertime, or a different variety, creating a new lifestyle. That's something to keep in mind as you're making your way out. That can be a con because you get homesick. I get homesick, but at the same time, knowing that that's a new level, a new chapter, a new phase for you is going to be a big deal. That can be a con to those people who are just, you know, attached to family. So I wanted to point that out as something to keep in mind as you're making your decision. At the same time, it's exciting because it's a new experience, a new journey. As far as an economic standpoint, this might be a really good choice to make. They might even come move out with you and enjoy Michigan with you. So it's a really good thing to keep in mind. Pro number 5 is going to be the low population density. A lot of people who move from California to Michigan are excited because they don't have people like on top of them, or, you know, they can reach out the window and touch their neighbor. There's a lot of people in California compared to Michigan, so you have more space. When you purchase property, you have a better bang for your buck. It's a really big deal as far as people that want to own land or go hunt or just have space to live their life however they want. So that low population density, it's less competition for jobs. There's a shorter line when you want to go get some ice cream. Less boats on the water, things like that actually come into play where you can do more and have more time to do it and more space to do it. So that's a huge pro when you're thinking of moving out to the Michigan area. Con number 5 is the potential natural disasters. This can be looked at as a plus and a minus because you'll be leaving the earthquakes that may happen from time to time in California and moving over to Michigan where it rains a lot, or you might get snowed into your house or something like that. Lately, the Michigan weather hasn't been that bad, so you might be in for a treat for the next few years, who knows. But at the same time, the natural disasters, super extreme weather, icy roads, you know, things like that are something to keep in mind as you're moving from California to Michigan. As far as the potential for natural disasters, Michigan doesn't really have a ton of that. There's not a huge exciting weather pattern that happens over in Michigan besides it getting cold throughout the winter time. But those natural disasters happening are something to keep in mind as you're making your way out to the Michigan area. It's really an awesome privilege to be in the Michigan area. If you've ever wondered about visiting, or you visited or have people that you know that have come to the area, come on out, enjoy it, come for a weekend, get an Airbnb, enjoy the city and what it's like coming out here. I'm happy to host you if you're ever making your way. Just shoot me a message, book a call. I have all my information below. And I even have a relocation guide that I'll give to you completely free as you're making your decision, some points that I may have missed in this video. So again, if you're in those 70s and you're loving it, go ahead and stay, I guess. But over here, we have that variety in Michigan, from those snowbanks to the fall seasons, all these great things about moving to the Michigan area. I just try to keep it real, tell you exactly how it is and how to live great here in the Grand Rapids area. Again, for things to do and sights to see, this is Live Great TV. I'm your official host. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, my information is right on the screen here. So get in touch with me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. And until next time, we will see you on the next video.